Hi everyone, I am Priyanka Anand and today I'll be taking you through a series of yoga asanas which actually are very simple to do, and I feel like there is a big myth about yoga that yoga is about doing all these like complicated poses, like lifting your legs up in the sky, or just all these poses. But actually it's great if you can do that, but since I have been taking yoga training classes for certification, I have realized that there are so many myths about yoga which need to be broken. And This is one of the myth. Actually, yoga is obviously about challenging yourself and trying to do the pose right, but it is also equally important to discover your boundaries and limitations in yoga, and to really try to find that balance between how much you can push yourself and where you have to stop, and where you have to surrender and enjoy the pose. So that has been a biggest actually learning for me personally in this yoga teacher training course. So yeah, so I want to start just sharing that, and also yeah, so let's get started. Okay, so we're gonna start easy and slow. When you start yoga, you want to start easy and slow. So we'll come on our on all our fours, our knees and our hands on the mat into tabletop position. Your shoulders will move away from your ears. Take 2 deep breaths. At your own pace. There's no need to compare yourself with your neighbor on the other mat. So just focus on yourself. The next time you inhale, we are going to get ready for the downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana, which is what it is called in Sanskrit. Inhale, tuck your toes in or curl your toes in, press your hips back and up into the sky, into downward facing dog or inverted V pose. You can see why it's called inverted V, because it looks like inverted V pose. There are a few things you want to look out for in this pose. So your feet hip distance apart, your gaze in between your legs. You want to press your heels into the mat as much as possible. Relax your shoulders by pushing them away from your ears. Keep breathing. Your core is engaged here. So this is a really good pose for your core, for strengthening your core, for strengthening your upper body, as you can see. And then you also want to engage your biceps here to take away some of the weight from your wrist. If you're like me, you will end up using your wrist a lot more than you should be. So you want to engage your biceps here. So it's an amazing pose, as you can see, because you are engaging so many parts of your body here. Keep breathing at your own pace. And if you want to play with this, you can try to internally rotate your thighs, and it's going to be a very slight motion. So when you internally rotate your thighs, you are engaging your thighs basically, and you can feel it more if you want to put something in between your thighs. So you just want to play with it, and don't be super critical about it. Just play with it. Just try to have fun also. And then I like to shake my neck yes and into no to release the strain and the tension from my neck, because I tend to hold a lot of tension in my neck, so I like to do this. Okay, so we are here for a while, so let's get ready for the next pose, which is plank pose. Take a couple of breaths, and when you are ready, do it at your own pace. When you are ready, inhale, roll your body forward into plank. Now, again, a couple of things you want to look out for in this pose. So your wrist, your elbow and your shoulder stacked. Your core is still engaged. Your heels are reaching backward. Your crown is reaching forward. And you want to create a long spine in this pose. And your hands and legs may shake. That's okay. That's normal. That's healthy. And also for beginners and for people who tend to have tight knees or tight hamstrings or lower back issues, please bend your knees or put your knees down on the mat. And this modification is also very beneficial. So please don't hesitate to take this modification if you need to. I can hold it like that, so I'm doing it this way. So I think it's so important to also remember when you're doing yoga that the modifications are equally valuable, so we don't have to compare the modifications with each other. I think it's important to be flexible when you're doing yoga and understand what suits your body and what doesn't suit your body and stick to it likewise. So let's go back to that plank pose. And then I'm gonna get ready for the next one, which is Chaturanga Dandasana. And this plank pose is a great transition for that pose because I'm already in a good form for the next pose that I'm going to do. So keep this form active, your core engaged, your heels reaching back, your crown reaching forward. Keep your elbows by your side, make sure they don't collapse sideways. And then you inhale. The next exhale, you're gonna lower down into your mat like this. This is Chaturanga Dandasana. Your core has to be very engaged here. And then we are gonna get ready for the next pose, which is Cobra. And in this pose, first of all, take a couple of breaths, by the way. There's no rush. Then, see, there's a reason why we have like all these poses that we use to transition to the other pose. So as you saw when I transitioned from the Cobra, from the Chaturanga Dandasana into Cobra, which I'm going to do, I'm already, ready with that form. So let's go back to the Cobra. Inhale, your palms pressing into the mat. Inhale, your heads up, your chest up, your belly button off the mat. Keep breathing. This is your Cobra pose. Your heels again reaching back, your crown reaching forward, your gaze at the top of the mat so that you can keep the length in your neck. This is great for shoulder, for opening your shoulder and your spine, as you can see. And we can take another modification from here, which is called locust pose. And I love to play with these transitional poses because it's so easy to go to the next pose from this pose because I'm already in that form. So for the locust pose, which is also called flying pose, flying locust pose, I'm going to put my forehead onto the mat, my hands by my thighs, palms down the mat. This time when I inhale, I'm gonna lift my head up, then my chest, my belly button up. Keep inhaling. And then the next time you inhale, your hands lift up and then your legs lift up. Your knees lift up, but your thighs are still touching the mat. Your thighs are still engaged. Find that internal slight rotation in your inner thighs that keeps the engagement of the thighs very active. Keep breathing. Use your breath. Use your breath into this pose. Use your breath to overcome this resistance. And keep breathing. The next time you exhale, you're going to put your forehead again down on the mat, your cheek to one side, and gently lift yourself up into a seated position. So I can go on and on. This sequence can be as long as you want and as short as you want. And what I really like is that, you can really play with it and you can be really creative with it. And it's okay to make mistakes. The only thing is that you definitely don't want to make a mistake which will cause you, breaking anything. So that's why I always like to offer some modifications in a class so that you play it, but you play it safe. So thank you so much for joining me, and I hope to connect to you again.